Welcome to Part B of the Eduonix WordPress Security and SEO course. In this part, we'll look at many different aspects of SEO. We'll look at how we can optimize content using strategies like keyword placement. We'll look at how to write quality content with headings, SEF URLs, which are search engine friendly URLs, image and video optimization, and we'll even look at rich snippets in schema.org. We'll also take a look at server and file optimization using the .txt access file. We'll learn how to do 301 redirects, robots.txt file, which will allow us to block the search engine bots from certain parts of our site, especially the admin parts. We'll create an XML sitemap and also submit it to Google Webmaster Tools. And of course, we have WordPress based SEO. We'll look at the core WordPress system and how we can optimize that. We'll use permalinks, which are basically search engine friendly URLs. We'll use the Yoast plugin, which gives us all around SEO. Pretty much any aspect of SEO, you can find that functionality in Yoast. We'll look at how to create optimized WordPress posts, social networking and bookmarking plugins, and we'll even look at the comment system and see how we can optimize that. So that's it. Let's dive in and see if we can optimize WordPress to its highest potential. Welcome to Part B of this course. In this part, we're going to be talking about WordPress SEO and pretty much SEO in general. And how we can optimize our WordPress website to rank higher with the search engines. Now, I'm guessing you know a little bit about SEO. It stands for Search Engine Optimization, and this is right from Wikipedia. It's the process of affecting the visibility of a website or a web page in a search engine's natural or unpaid search results. So, what they mean by natural or organic or unpaid, it's just the basic results. No ads or anything like that. It's just what comes up. It's just the sites that Google feels is valuable to whatever keyword or information that you entered. On the other side, we have paid results, which basically results that advertisers have paid for. And this is usually done through the Google AdWords program. So let's talk a little bit about strategies, not specific to WordPress, but just in general. There's usually two sides of SEO. There's on-site and there's off-site. So on-site would be actually editing the content and the functionality of your website. Off-site would be things like building links or guest posting on other blogs and linking to your website. So some of the effective on-site strategies are optimizing page titles. Page titles are what you see, let's say when you open a new tab in Chrome or Firefox, you'll see a title, some content in that tab, and that's usually the page title. If you look at the code source, you'll see the title tag, and whatever's in between there, that's the page title. Page titles have a lot of weight in Google because that's what comes up. That's the large text. When you search something in Google and you see the results come up, it's the page title that catches your eye. It also includes the description in smaller text. You want to use quality keywords all around your site that are relevant to your site. Now, this can be kind of a double-edged sword because you want relevant keywords on your site in the content body or in the page title everywhere, but you don't want to overuse them. You don't want to stuff a page with 50 of the same keywords. That'll give you the opposite effect. That'll actually affect your rankings. So you don't want to do that, and you don't want to focus mainly on keywords. You want to focus on the overall content of the page or the post or whatever it is. You want to look at it as a whole. Keyword stuffing and that kind of thing, that used to work, but the search engine's algorithms have gotten a lot more advanced, and they're able to see the page for what it is. You want to write content for users, not for search engines. That's basically the same thing. You don't want to just write, you don't want to fill the page with keywords. You want it so that a person can read it and understand it. Don't write it for the search engine. Write it for your website readers. User-friendly URLs are pretty important. Some systems, even such as WordPress, by default they have these ugly query URLs where it just has a query, the ID number or something like that, the ID of the post. You want to change this to have the post title or something that makes sense, which we'll go over in the next section, I believe. Image optimization, a lot of people overlook this, but images have names, whatever .jpeg or .png. This should be something that's user friendly, something, a word, not maybe a number or something like that. And also you want to utilize the alt attribute, which is what's displayed if for some reason the server isn't serving up the image. High quality videos. Videos is also a kind of a new thing in SEO. You can have videos with meta info and titles and keywords. So videos can actually be helpful in SEO. So now we have off-site SEO strategies. And I realize that this doesn't really have anything, well, I shouldn't say it doesn't have anything to do with, but it doesn't involve WordPress. But just as an overall, you want to understand the basics of SEO before we actually go in and mess with plugins and stuff like that. So off-site strategies, social networking is fantastic not only for SEO but to drive in traffic. And it wasn't too long ago that social networking sites like Facebook and Twitter, they weren't any good for SEO because they have no follow links, which we'll talk about later. So there was not really any link juice, as they called it. But now things have changed around, and social networking can actually benefit your rankings. You can actually benefit from using Facebook and Twitter, Google Plus, of course. So you also want to build quality links from relevant websites. You don't want to have a tech site and have a link on, say, a family-orientated website or something like that, even if the site has good PR or whatever. You don't want to do that. If you're a tech site, you want to be on other tech sites. And preferably the links should be from inside some quality content like a blog post, something like that. You don't want just a link hanging around in the sidebar with no purpose aside from gaining link juice. Another aspect that you should look at is brand building. Google is really looking at brands as a whole and giving certain websites authority and higher rankings that have a good brand. Third-party content sharing sites like Pinterest and SlideShare. Pinterest obviously is mostly images, but the images have data attached to them, links attached to them, so you want to utilize these things. Even a tech site, maybe create an infographic or something like that, and that can drive in traffic as well. Guest posting is another one. You want to look for sites that are relevant to your niche. Maybe ask to do a guest post. Usually if they're offering paid guest posting, you don't really want to go for those types of sites because they're generally spammy and just don't hold very much weight. Google Webmaster Tools you should definitely utilize, add your site to, and you can see the keywords that people are typing in to get to your site and just a whole bunch of analytical stuff, options. So those are off-site strategies. So what about WordPress? So WordPress is one of many different options that we can use to manage our site. There's other content management systems like Joomla, Drupal, but WordPress is definitely one of, if not the best CMS to use in terms of SEO. WordPress is built around good SEO. SEO is changing every day, but it seems like every release of WordPress is built around whatever is working at the time. So it's a really good CMS to use. There are many core and third-party plugins that can help in optimizing a WordPress site, and we'll look at a lot of those in the coming sections. So there's really two sides of WordPress SEO. There's core, which is functionality and content from within the core WordPress system, so without any plugins or extensions or anything like that. And then there's functionality we can get from third-party plugins, which we'll look at next. Core WordPress, we can look at permalinks. Basically, we want search engine friendly links. We kind of talked about this a few minutes ago, but WordPress gives you an option to do this right in the settings area. So you want to do that first before anything. Canonicalization. So you want to choose if you want to use www in front of your domain or not, and you can do that from in WordPress. You also want to change that in Google Webmaster Tools. You want the two to match, because in Webmaster Tools you can choose which version you want. Page titles and content. So WordPress Core can handle this. You can change page titles and things like that, but you can use plugins to optimize it further, so you can really get in there and customize your titles and content. Meta tags. We have options for meta descriptions and keywords. Meta tags don't hold that much weight as far as results, if any, but the description is what your users see when your site comes up, so you want to optimize that no matter what. Image optimization. We can upload images easily in a WordPress post, and we can attach alt tags and other attributes and information to those images. So we can get even better SEO with WordPress plugins. This is just a few of the different types we can look for. First, we have all-around SEO plugins like Yoast and All-in-One SEO. That's actually the name of the plugin, and you can basically do a whole bunch of things as far as changing page titles or keywords or just anything really to do with SEO. Then we have content plugins, which allow us to further customize page titles and things like that. Sharing and bookmark plugins are important. They give a way for your users to quickly share whatever you're posting about. So that's definitely something that you should have. A sitemap, I would suggest using a sitemap plugin. Some people say that sitemaps don't really do anything for SEO, but others disagree. So I would suggest using one. So we'll look at a sitemap plugin a little later. So that pretty much sums it up. If there's something you didn't understand, don't worry. We're going to go through everything that we talked about in depth. So there's quite a few sections in part B. So I will see you in the next one. In this section, we're going to talk about the robots.txt file. What this file does is it allows us to block certain directories, folders, files from web robots, also called crawlers or spiders. They're just these programs that browse the web and index certain contents and websites, and it's how Google gets all their listings, all the websites. So we don't want robots scanning, let's say, the admin directory. We don't want that indexed in Google, so we can block that from within a file called robots.txt. Now with WordPress, and I should just say, by the way, this is the robotstxt.org website, which explains it in depth. There's even a list of all the current robots. I think there's about 300 of them or so. Yeah, 302. And you can actually look at specifics on each bot. And there's just a whole bunch of information here. But as I was saying, WordPress doesn't have a physical robots.txt file. It does, however, it serves up a virtual or generates a robots.txt file. But we can replace it and add more to it if we want, which is what we'll do. So let me log in through FTP or through secure FTP. Alright, so in the, let's see, public HTML, our WordPress site is in the blog directory, and you can see that there is no physical robots.txt file. However, like I said, there is a virtual one that's being served up, and it is honored by Google. But what we want to do is create a new one, because I'll show you what is actually included in the virtual file. So we want to call this robots and keep the txt extension. Let me open that up, and let me just grab and paste in what the default looks like. So this is what's in the virtual robots.txt. we're protecting the admin directory as well as the includes directory. And we can add whatever we want here. We can create, let's say, this videos directory. Alright, we can actually just copy that, paste that in, and if I save this and upload it, search engine robots will not scan the videos directory. So I'm going to add in a couple more things here. So this is going to make it so the bots can't scan the plugins folder, cache, themes, and also the well, we don't need this because we have includes up here. But this is just an example of what we could do. So let's just save that. And if we upload this, and that's all we would have to do. Now, since my WordPress installs in a subdirectory called blog, and in the root directory I also have a robots.txt file that blocks this entire domain, because this domain is just for my own staging and testing and things like that. This wouldn't actually work because it would just take the robots.txt file in the root directory and apply that, which blocks everything. But I'm showing you this as if you had your own WordPress install, even if it was in a subdirectory. As long as you don't have the text file in the root, that you'll be fine. You just can't have more than one, as far as I know. So that's basically it. It's pretty simple to understand. You just add the folders that you don't want search engines to scan. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next section. Alright, so in this section we're going to look at WordPress permalinks. And permalinks are permanent URLs to your individual weblog posts, as well as categories and other lists of weblog postings. So basically, a link to an individual post by default are ugly, and that's coming off the WordPress website. And you can see here we have the domain and then / p = n, where n would be a number. This would be the ID of your post. So this is what they look like by default. And if we go to our default blog and click on our sample page, now you can see up here we just have page ID = 2. So that's not very friendly to search engines or humans. So we want to change this. And this codex.wordpress.org/using permalinks, this is a really helpful page. Pretty much tells you everything there is to know about permalinks. Here's what this called pretty permalinks, and this is where we would have the actual post name in the URL as opposed to just the ID. And in some cases you might want to include the date or the category. You can do that as well, and you can even create a custom structure. To use permalinks, we need to use the Apache module mod rewrite, and most Linux servers will have this option enabled. If you're using like something like HostGator or GoDaddy or any of those, then you'll be fine. I'm not really familiar with Windows-based servers, so you'd have to check that, but I'm sure that there's some kind of a way around that. So we're not really going to go, well, yeah, I guess we will. So this is what it looks like. We'll actually log in and check this out and change it. We might as well do that now. Just log in here. Alright, so what we want to do when we reach our dashboard is go to Settings and then Permalinks. And as you can see, the default looks like this. The P = and then the ID number. Now we can choose to include the date and time, and this will have the actual post name. The month and name, we can have numeric or post name, which is what we're going to use. Now you can also use a custom structure, and you can see we're using different shortcodes for a post name, this is what it would look like. You can also go to this WordPress.org page, and where it says structure tags, you can actually get all the shortcodes from here. Alright, so year, month, day, hour, category, author. You can put the author in the URL. So you can create your own URLs if you want. But I always prefer just to have the post name. So let's save that. And if we visit our home page and then click on sample page, now this looks a lot better. So whatever we name our post, it's going to show up here. So if you're going to have a WordPress site, then that should definitely be one of the first things that you do.